Renowned legal icon and elder statesman Afe Babalola has announced his decision to withdraw the criminal defamation suit he filed against human rights activist and author Dele Farotimi. The decision follows an appeal led by the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, and other prominent Yoruba traditional rulers during a late-night visit to Babalola's residence at Afe Babalola University, Ado-Ekiti. The case, which arose from Farotimi's book, Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System, alleged that the publication defamed Babalola. Despite the court granting Farotimi a 30 million naira bail, Babalola has now chosen to discontinue the proceedings. Intervention by eminent Nigerians and traditional rulers, the Oni of Ife, accompanied by other prominent Yoruba monarchs such as Ewi of Ado-Ekiti, Ogaga of Ikere-Ekiti, and Ajero of Ijero-Ekiti, personally visited Babalola to plead for forgiveness. The Oni, who arrived at Abdul at about 10:30 p.m., was accompanied by other top Yoruba traditional rulers. The Oni described Farotimi as a son and urged Babalola to extend mercy. In addition to the traditional rulers, other notable figures, including former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Bishop Hassan Kuka, reached out to Babalola through letters and calls, urging him to withdraw the case. The senior advocate of Nigeria emphasized that he had no personal gain in pursuing the imprisonment of Farotimi, stating that he have nothing to gain in Farotimi being jailed. Babalola acknowledged the significance of the Yoruba leaders' intervention and their commitment to maintaining unity and harmony within the country. Quickly, I'd love to start with you because you're an elder, and then when there's a misunderstanding between two siblings in the house, they'll go to the father and to settle the quarrel. I'd love to get your thoughts concerning this space.
Well, it's interesting, the dimension perspective that this matter has currently taken. The traditional rulers, in fact, frontline traditional rulers of the Yoruba nationality, adding voice, not just speaking or doing letters, but also practically paying a visit to Afe Babalola, who himself is also a title holder. Is also a title holder, and sometimes these are areas where we may agree or we may disagree. Where culture apparently seems to interfere with some of the processes that sometimes legal, sometimes constitutional. Sometimes we have this habit in our nation. This, in fact, not a habit, but a culture of finding political solution to very serious matters. For some of us, we had expected that the matter, will fully be heard, and in fact, we will test the entire issues that are at stake, that ultimately, whatever is the outcome, will add to our jurisprudence.
Okay.
Because quite a number of issues have been raised, whether criminal libel. There are still criminal libel, even in that jurisdiction, where the issue emanated from. In fact, the fact that even police officers left their jurisdiction, I think Ekiti State, and went to Lagos to effect an arrest, whether the processes were even duly followed, and whether they have such rights. And whether criminal libel, in fact, as a matter of fact, still exists in our jurisprudence, and as to whether it is confined to certain jurisdictions. So a lot of issues that we are coming to before. In fact, Farotimi himself has said he's not pleading with anybody, to plead. He's not asking anybody to plead on his behalf. He's ready to go through it, and that all the facts that he has stated are correct.
And he's not taking back his word.
Yes, but again, this is Nigeria. We are culture. culture, respect for elders. You see the way the senior advocates has put it, Chief Afe Babalola. He said it's when traditional rulers visit you and you agree on an issue. In fact, they make a pleading and you agree with them. It's like taking a command from them. It's like taking a command from them. So that is where we are. But there's an extended aspect of it. You know, it's a criminal libel, and it is the state that takes over the matter of execution, the matter of prosecution in such a matter. So where does the Nigerian state come in? Where does the Nigerian state come in? Secondly, represented of course maybe by the police, since the report was made to them. Secondly, there's also the information that there are other parties in other cases. So will the same apply to them? Will the same apply to them? And what also will be the response of Farotimi, who very solidly is claiming to be standing on his own rights, and who has said he's not going to plead with anybody, he's not going to withdraw. In fact, that he's ready to go through the prosecution and a bill of 30 million naira is already standing in his favor. So let's see how this is
unveils.
But that is our culture, as always, and of course part of our law is also drawn from culture. Has a lot of impact.
Thank you, sir.
Have a lot of impact.
Thank you. Quickly, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Mukasa.
The chief has already said it all. This would have been an opportunity to test our jurisprudence. Certain claims were made by Dele Farotimi, and funny enough, he has already written the book. I've seen the printed form of that book. You have it online. So the allegations made, are you going to remove it from the book? And anything that has been put in a book will stay, for ages. As he come to say that he's going to withdraw the book from circulation, whatever, all the things that he said in that book, has he come to say that they are not true? So these are the issues. So in as much as, the elders, the traditional rulers, of course, as revered traditional rulers and custodians of our culture and tradition, it is not out of place, to come to say that, let us have, peace, let parties shield their swords and see how these things can be resolved amicably. But, the matter has gone beyond what you can just come and say, let matters die like that. There's a saying, local parlance, or they say before you separate fight, you first of all separate quarrel. You see, in this particular aspect, the handshake has passed the elbow. So it's not even easy. It's not going to be that easy for the respected jurist, talking about Chief Afe Babalola, to just say, okay, well, the rulers have come and let us everything just die and all of that, and let's go back to status quo, and things are just pushed away. Unless they want to tell me today that we have individuals that are bigger than our laws, If we don't, then let us exhaust the entire legal process, and of course, without necessarily victimizing the person of Dele Farotimi. From what I gathered with the whole process and all of that, it's as though the guy is being victimized. He has made a claim. Like he said, it's libelous. It's a claim of criminal libel. And the best way to define what it is through our jurisprudence. So for me, in as much as there's nothing wrong in calling both parties to see how they can resolve the matter, but
and
this
also
is going to
set
yes, but this is going to set as a precedence. These are the only way that strides are made in the legal system, so that you can refer to it. That's what lawyers do. They refer to cases. In the case of Afe Babalola, this was what was decided. It served as a stride, You don't just throw things under the rug and just everybody go back to, and you know, and funny enough, that is how we do things in this country. The next thing, other issues come up and nobody talks about it. And we are talking about building stronger institutions. We want to build a strong democracy, but we don't have strong institutions unless we channel our energy on how to build credible institutions that people can rely on, people can respect, have confidence in. We will not, I'm not sure there will be any headway for us as a people.